The MNO is committed to engaging and assisting youth to be all they can be. Earlier this year, 2 labor market think tanks were held. The goal of these sessions was to provide participants with an opportunity to come together and explore labor market information regarding in-demand career choices and to identify any barriers that might be preventing Métis youth from reaching their fullest potential.
And also it gives them a little bit of learning about post-secondary education, learning about trades, apprenticeships, things they can do after high school. And so this is about building those connections, showing them how they can apply for funding, what sort of opportunities are available, as well as where they can go to get more information, how they can build a good resume, how they can sort of gear everything that they're doing towards an end goal that they might have.
And so far I'm liking it. We had a really good day today. It started off with some presentations about people who want us to pursue post-secondary education. So there was a lot of information. Found it very helpful. It was good to see a lot of Métis individuals who really focused on their higher education. So some good influences there. I find back in my community at home, it's very easy to develop a negative image of Aboriginal peoples because a lot of the people in my area, they've dropped out of high school, things like that. But everybody here, I feel like they're very well spoken, very well educated. So there's a lot of good role models here. So yeah, there's a very professional image that I get from them. I like it a lot.
There's been plenty of emphasis on what the youth need and what the youth are going through these days, especially being an Aboriginal youth. It's quite a challenging economy, and there's plenty of things and plenty of issues to be explored. I've been aware that I've been Métis my whole life. My grandma was actually the first Métis Nation of Ontario senator, Olive Tiedema, and to me it's an organization that's just starting to bloom. The older generation planted the seeds, and now we're here to cultivate it. And we really need to make sure that we can continue this process for the younger generations, because we're not out of the woods yet. There's still plenty of work to be done, and there's plenty of progress that's been made so far.
The MNO has helped me tremendously. For starters, when I first started college, I was very nervous, very shy, didn't talk a lot, and then I became an Infinite Reach facilitator, and that's kind of just brought my personality right out, and I've been able to just go into classrooms and talk about being Métis, or even just talk about my program in general, the things that I have to do in class. So it's helped me a lot, and I haven't really outreached any funding from the MNO, but I know that it's there if I needed to. So
I think it's really important for students, in high school, transitioning out of high school into post-secondary institutions, to hear stories of success, because I think that as a high school student, there were a lot of negative things that were shared with me around my own capabilities and my own pathway, or what others perceived my pathway would be. And so I think that having role models, or having facilitators who are in the process and who have gone through the process of applying to colleges or universities, sort of getting through those initial steps, that transition period, knowing how to work within the system that is educational institutions successfully is really important. And that, high school students, even though we may not know them long term, feel connected in the moment and are able to get some strength from that and carry that with them when they go back to their own home communities. But more than that, many of these students may in fact end up at the different institutions that we represent. So myself, University of Toronto, we have the Sioux College here, we have Ottawa U here. So those students who may be thinking about applying to those universities or colleges know that there is space there, that there is an actual space in which Métis community exists, and that there is a continuation of community from their home communities to a community that exists within those educational spaces.
There's a lot of stuff I like about working with the MNO. I've made some really cool friends. I've been able to connect with our senators and our kind of elders, and I've heard amazing stories. But I've also had a lot of opportunities. I got my job placement working with the Native Women's Association of Canada through working with the MNO, or I guess volunteering with the MNO, and that's been an amazing opportunity for me. So it's just all around, it's been an awesome experience.
I just want Métis youth to be able to excel in whatever they aspire to excel in. I know from me myself, I had a lot of barriers in high school, so I would love to see in the future working on removing any type of barrier that impedes the success of Métis students.
Right now, we're focusing on jobs that are in demand, labor market ready jobs, so we will assist kids who are going into college with up to 2 years of a college program, with their living allowances, their travel, assistance with tuition and books as well.
I especially love that you have someone at all times that you can be in contact with. Day or night, you have someone, whether it's via Facebook or a friend you've met, or the employees, anybody that you've met throughout the entire time. Even if it's the AGAs, you've met a contact that can support you in some way, somehow. So having all the different supports in different areas is so beneficial, and it's helped me so much.
The students here today, I think that it's important to instill in them that education is very important, and that it may not be today that you decide that I'm going to be a forensic investigator, or I'm going to be a social worker or something. But when you finally get to that point and you realize the value of going to a post-secondary education institute, I think that in itself is the first step towards something that's truly great.
Our overarching goal is always to be getting more and more Métis youth involved in the process, involved in the MNO, and involved in our culture and our heritage. Well, we have a proud history and a proud heritage as a people, and to know that heritage is to keep it alive, right? And it can't live if we don't know it, right? And it can't. It doesn't have a life without us breathing that life into it and carrying it forward. And all of those stories we hear about our ancestors, whether it's Louis Riel out west, or we know our ancestors here in Ontario who were in Mica Bay or participating in all these treaty negotiations, and they did that for a reason, right? They were doing that to make sure something was preserved for us, and so we have an obligation to pick up what was preserved for us and make sure we preserve it for someone else down the road.
The Métis Nation is just a beautiful community of people, and really a home for many, many, many people. What I love about my work is that I get to participate in that role and help and connect and be mentored and guided myself with and by this larger community of people. And it's crucial, it's critical to our health and to our well-being as Aboriginal people in Canada. And so it's an incredible honor and incredible privilege to sit with our community and our elders and senators and all of those people and our ancestors who have walked before us, that all of that is shared with us and helping us achieve and become the best version of ourselves. So that's what I love about this community.
Because in Ontario we have Métis, that's very important. It's something to be proud of, and if that youth can say with assertion, I'm a Métis, I am a Métis from Abitibi Lake, I'm a Métis from Manoa, I'm a Métis from Ontario, and I am proud of it, and I know where I come from, but now I know who I am, and I will move forward, and I will be the best I can be.